Our American way of life. Isn't it grand? Peace, freedom, and bacon and eggs. Seems perfect. But what if it's not?
Well, the good news is we have a lot of weapons.
I mean, killing a guy with an ashtray to the head, you know, never gets old.
And then it leads to his head popping off, right, and a big bloody explosion.
My current weapon is the Flamer. I usually don't play a big guns character, but if you do, the Flamer is a really, really good weapon. There's a lot of Flamer fuel around for you to get, so it's nice to light your enemies on fire, and they'll continue to take damage, so you can light them and then go to evade, go around corners and try to hide while it burns them up.
I like to keep it simple. We have a ton of weapons in the games, and we have, like, you know, very normal, just sort of like rifles and pistols and stuff, and then we have the far out, like, custom weapons and some of the energy weapons and whatnot. Personally, I like, you know, the simple, very classic, like, okay, realistic, you know, like the hunting rifle. It's like a weapon you get early in the game, and it's just like a, you know, a standard, you know, single shot bolt action rifle. But, you know, you look at the model. It's all, you know, it's rusted, and the wood stock is like coming apart. It's wrapped up in duct tape and wire and whatnot. And, you know, and when you're walking around with that weapon on your back, and you're in the vault suit or the armored vault suit, it's a classic you know, Fallout visual.
We decided, you know, even when you start the game early on, to show you some of the cooler weapons, and a lot of times it's in a limited capacity because there's ammo. As opposed to Oblivion, where we can give you, you know, we hold back the nicer weapons, because once you get a good sword, you can pretty much use it as much as you want. In this, we can give you a really nice weapon early on, and then only a few rounds of ammunition. We also have weapon condition. So you might get a beat-up gun, which means you can only use it a few times, and you only have a few shells for it. So you get to experience it, but not get to use it a lot.
I am a big fan of the railway rifle, which is the rifle that, you know, made by a steam gauge assembly. It shoots railway spikes and it pins guys' limbs to walls. You know, it's very sort of reminiscent of, if you play the old Alien versus Predator games. You know, there was like a Predator weapon that did kind of like the same thing. But this is like a junk weapon made from crap that you've salvaged. And, you know, whenever you shoot it, it's got a train whistle sound, so it's like... And that's the juxtaposition of it. It's just so ridiculous on one hand, and it's just so gory and violent.
Our technology in the game is sort of an advanced, futuristic technology that, you know, sort of progressed as, you know, the Fallout timeline kind of diverged and went 100 years into the future, sort of Flash Gordon kind of Buck Rogers kind of, you know, future. But, you know, we always try, you know, even the most wacky weapons, to ground them in reality. They feel real, like built out of real parts. You can sort of see, like, yeah, I can see how that works. You know, it's a laser rifle, and it's bulky because of the power it's trying to generate.
It's funny, the game's, you know, wrapping up now in a few weeks, and after spending 4 years on it, it's kind of funny to look back at the game and see all of these ideas that have come to life and come together. Because when you do a game of this size, you have a lot of different ideas and different people working on different ideas, and it's really not until the last 6 months or so that they all click together and you start connecting the dots and massaging that. And it's impossible during the course of a project that's that long to sort of quantify how fun this will be, and how much it feels like the old games feel. And so for us, we're pretty happy with how it's turned out. You know, for us, we find it just a ton of fun to keep playing.